Okay, here we go with two-point perspective. This is part 2, and I want 2 to 3 buildings. Windows, doors, okay? This is practice. Don't forget you need a road, sidewalk. Okay, here we go. Perspective or horizon line, here we go. Please use a ruler. Note to self, do not put your points somewhere in the middle, put them at the ends. Okay, when you do 2-point perspective, you could make, let's say, this street really long and this short, or you could do this one short and this one long. You could meet up in the middle, but I'm not going to try to. Let's go ahead and make this one short and this one longer. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just put my road on the outside here. It'll look like it's going off the page. Remember the illusion, your lines will be wider, and as you go off into the distance, they get shorter and shorter, and it's just an illusion. Remember? These do not have to be perfect. I just think it's a reminder, and I'm repeating myself, that they are longer and then shorter and shorter and closer together in the back. Okay, I'm going to do a sidewalk line. Stop right there so my sidewalk can continue on this side. Okay, and same thing, you know, your sidewalk lines, and they would get shorter and closer together. Okay, let's talk about the buildings. When we do 2-point perspective, we are going to draw the corner of the building first. Okay, so I'm going to start right here in the middle. I'm not going to start right here at the edge. I always give my buildings a little space away from the sidewalk. And I'm going to make this one taller than the horizon line. You can make yours as tall as you want. Okay, we're going to go out to the perspective point. We're going to make this side of the building. You decide how long it is. It does not have to be exactly like mine. And then we'll do the top of this side. Try to guesstimate where it's going to come out even with this. Remember, don't just connect the legs. Make sure you're doing a vertical line. Okay, we'll do this side. And this top line. Don't forget, go into the perspective point. Sometimes kids just keep going this way. I'm not sure why. Perspective point or vertical lines for 2-point perspective. And here we go. Okay. You cannot see the top of the building because it's above the horizon line, so you don't need to worry about that. Okay. Now, if you want to play around with something, maybe you could have some different kind of a top. I'm not going to measure or make sure it's perfection. In fact, it looks a little wonky. Maybe I need to move my point over here and it would look better. You can play around with how you top your buildings. Maybe that would be better. I don't know. You don't have to. I'm just going to play around with it. And of course, now I have all these scribbly lines there. So I apologize for that. If you're trying to do this with me, I might want to make it look more even. And I'm not using a ruler because it's a practice, but use the ruler on everything else. Okay. Again, now we would not see the horizon line through here because we have a building. Okay, let's add some more buildings. I'm going to add one on this side. I can add some on the other. Again, I like to extend this line. Your building could go further back, but I'm going to get this building about that long. Here is the corner of the building I'll make it a little bit shorter than the horizon line. Go to the perspective point to finish off the side. Again, a vertical line to close off. Now, don't forget this side goes to the point. And this line goes to the point as well. Okay, and then remember, when we did the 2-point perspective 4-box activity, if you want to do the tops, because below the horizon line, come from here to the opposite corner and do a light line because you're not sure where they're going to connect. Now, I don't know how long this building goes out, okay? Let's say it goes to here. So I have to guesstimate for this top part. And I'm just going to guesstimate right here and call that good. See, that is the top of my building because we can't really see it. It's behind this building. All right, so we got 2 buildings. Let's try one on this side. Again, I like to extend this line. I'm going to give some space. And I'm going to make another tall building. Oh, let's go to here. Let's do the corner of the building. This one's going to be taller. Okay, down this perspective point for this side. My paper is causing me problems. Okay, here's the end of that building, or the side of that building. Now, let's do this side of the building, always going to the perspective point. And don't forget about this little bit. Okay, now the only thing we're missing is some doors and windows. If you want to do extra, I will give extra credit for any extra buildings that you want to do. I probably have forgotten to do that with some of you who've already gotten graded. Okay, so let's do some other kinds of windows. I have lots of examples on the slideshow of different ways that you can do windows so that you're not having to draw tons of windows, but you're giving the illusion of city windows. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I just kind of fake it. I'm going to go ahead and make these lines. This side of the building would go to the perspective point and come over about the same width as this right here. I'm going to go ahead and go down and do all of them. I'm trying to do quick windows because if you try to do a whole bunch of tiny little rectangular windows, it takes a long time. And this is a practice. So how can I do windows quickly? Okay, and then I'll do a vertical line over here to close them up. Okay, and then let's see what I can see. I can see, because I want to indent them, I can see this little bit. I can see that little bit. I can see this little bit. Now, when we get up here, I can see this top one. I can't see the bottom one because I'm just above the horizon line. Okay, so let's come out to this point and let's connect. Connect. My pencil's doling out and not giving me as sharp a point as I want. And can't for this one, but we can for this top. Okay, and I can see all these sides. So this, and this. So there's the illusion that this window indents. Okay. Now you can play around with doors. Just make sure that when you're doing your doors, maybe there's a door on the side of this building. That's a really tall door. That you're always going to the perspective point. Don't be just drawing a square door. This is 2-point perspective, so be sure to include the perspective. Okay, I'm gonna go, if I want this indented, I can see this a little bit. And of course I could use my ruler, but I'm gonna hand do this to shorten my video. Okay, and maybe there's the door handle. All right, so play around with some windows and doors. I want you to play around because I want you to know what you want to try in your final. I could do something like these, which are on one of the pictures that we have in the slideshow. You could do little domes. And normally I would go, where is that? Okay, so this could be my little illusion line so that all of these arcs go up there. And then what would I see? I would see this much of it. Okay, it's just an illusion. Okay, I'm gonna stop this video.